The scream shattered the silence like glass under a boot heel. Ryan froze mid-swipe, his rag dripping soapy water onto the polished oak floor of the Harrington penthouse. The cry echoing from the nursery down the hall, a raw, desperate wail that clawed at his chest. He dropped everything and bolted, heart slamming against his ribs, because in that split second, it wasn't just a baby's hunger, it was a ghost calling his name. Joshua's eyes stared back at him from the tiny face swaddled in Egyptian cotton, wide and unblinking, the exact shade of sea glass after a storm, emerald flecked with gold, the kind that had once pulled Ryan under and never let him surface. 2 years dead, and there they were, reborn in this stranger's child, mocking him from the gilded cage of wealth he cleaned but never belonged to. Ryan wiped his brow with the back of his forearm, the scent of lemon polish clinging to his skin like a second shame. At 32, he was built like the Midwest farm boy he'd left behind, broad shoulders from baling hay, calloused hands now softened by years of scrubbing toilets for the 1%. Manhattan had chewed him up and spat him out polished, but the ache never dulled. Not since Joshua. The Harringtons' place on the Upper East Side was a monument to old money. Crystal chandeliers that caught the light like frozen tears, walls lined with oils of stern ancestors who'd probably never cracked a smile. Ryan had been their live-in housekeeper for 18 months, a gig that paid enough to keep his shoebox in Brooklyn and send a little back to his ma in Iowa. He moved through their lives like a shadow, straightening throw pillows after misses. Harrington's brunches, folding Mr. Harrington's monogram shirts with creases sharp as accusations. They barely noticed him, which was the point. Invisible labor for visible luxury. That morning, the penthouse hummed with the usual rhythm. Elena Harrington, all blonde highlights and Botox serenity, was out at Pilates. Victor Harrington Sr., the silver fox of Harrington Investments, had jetted to D.C. for some deal that would make or break a small country's economy. And the baby, was with the nanny, a stout Filipina named Maria who cooed in Tagalog while changing diapers that cost more than Ryan's weekly grocery run. He'd just finished the kitchen counters, gleaming under the recessed lights, when the cry pierced the air. It wasn't the first time he'd heard it. The Harringtons' 6-week-old grandson, little Theo, had a set of lungs that could wake the dead. But today, something twisted in Ryan's gut, a premonition like the thunderheads rolling over cornfields back home. He set down the rag and followed the sound, his sneakers silent on the Persian rugs. The nursery door was ajar, a sliver of pastel blue spilling into the hall. Ryan pushed it open, the hinges whispering like a secret. Maria was in the rocker, her back to him, humming a lullaby as she patted the bundle in her arms. "Shoo, Anik, it's okay," she murmured, but Theo's face was scrunched red, fists flailing like he was fighting off demons. "Need a hand?" Ryan asked, voice low. He wasn't supposed to, boundaries and all that, but Maria waved him in with a tired smile. Immigrants stuck together in this city, trading shifts and sympathies. She passed the baby over without a word, and Ryan cradled him instinctively, the weight familiar from the faded photos of his own infancy. Theo's cries hitched, then softened as Ryan swayed, murmuring nonsense about blue skies and open fields. "There you go, buddy. World's not ending yet." And then Theo's eyes fluttered open. Ryan's breath caught, the room tilting like a bad drunk. Those eyes, Christ, those eyes. Not brown like Elena's, not gray like Victor's. Green, deep and piercing, with flecks that caught the light just so. Joshua's eyes. The ones that had crinkled at the corners when he laughed, darkened with want in the dim of their Brooklyn walk-up. The ones Ryan had last seen glassy and still in a hospital bed, tubes snaking like betrayals. He sank onto the edge of the changing table, Theo gnawing on his knuckle now, oblivious. 2 years. 2 goddamn years since the trucker on the lie lost control. Since Joshua's text, running late, love you more, went unanswered. Ryan had identified the body, signed the papers, scattered ashes over the East River because Joshua hated cemeteries. And now this, a Harrington heir with his ghost's gaze. Maria bustled back with a bottle, oblivious to the storm in Ryan's head. He likes you, she said, warming the formula. Strong arms. My boys back home would kill for a man like you around. Ryan forced a chuckle, handing Theo over. Just lucky, I guess. But as he retreated to the hallway, the baby's stare lingered, burrowing into the cracks he'd papered over with routine. Lunch was turkey on rye at the Formica counter, but the bread tasted like ash. He pulled out his phone, thumb hovering over the lock screen. A candid of Joshua mid-laugh, wind tousling his auburn hair at Coney Island. What the hell are you doing here? Ryan whispered to the empty kitchen. The afternoon dragged, vacuuming rugs that muffled his footsteps, dusting shelves heavy with silver frames. Victor shaking hands with senators, Elena at galas in sequins that screamed untouchable. One photo caught him, a family portrait from last Christmas, Victor Jr. and his wife Lila beaming beside Elena. No baby yet. Victor Jr. was the absentee father, some tech bro in Silicon Valley chasing unicorns while his kid wailed in Manhattan. Ryan had seen him once, a slick-haired kid in his late 20s who reeked of entitlement and Axe body spray. By evening, Elena swept in, yoga-toned and glowing, Maria briefing her on the day's feeds. Ryan hovered in the periphery, polishing glass until it sang. Ryan, darling, Elena called, her voice honey over steel. Theo settled? Maria says he was fussy. All good. Ma'am, he replied, eyes on the floor. But she tilted her head, those blue eyes appraising. You've got away with him. Ever think about kids? It was casual, tossed like a crumb, but it landed like a grenade. Ryan's throat tightened. Not much, ma'am. Life's complicated. She nodded, waving him off, but the seed was planted. That night, in his cramped room off the kitchen, perk of the job, if you called thin walls and shared bath perks, he couldn't sleep. Theo's cry echoed in his skull, mingling with memories. Joshua, 28 when they met, all fire and freckles, a barista at that hole-in-the-wall in Williamsburg. Ryan had spilled his latte. Joshua had mopped it up with a grin that said, "You're mine now." 5 years of stolen weekends, fights over dishes and dreams, nights tangled in sheets that smelled like patchouli and possibility. They talked kids once, half drunk on cheap Merlot. Surrogate, maybe, Joshua had said, tracing Ryan's jaw. Or adoption. Give some kid what we never had. Ryan had laughed it off. 2 gay guys from nowhere, scraping by on tips and temp work. But Joshua's eyes had been serious, that green pulling him in like a riptide. Now, staring at the ceiling cracks that mapped his regrets, Ryan wondered. Coincidence? Or something crueler, like the universe's sick joke? He rolled over, punching the pillow, but sleep came fractured, dreams of tiny hands reaching through fog. The next week blurred into routine, but Theo became his anchor. Maria let him help more bottle runs, burp cloths, and Elena didn't mind, even encouraged it. "You're a natural," she'd say, sipping Chardonnay while Ryan bounced the baby on his knee. Victor Sr. was home more, gruff but thawing, clapping Ryan's shoulder after a long day. "Good man. Family needs steady like you, steady." Ryan clung to that, to the warmth of Theo's gummy smiles, the way those eyes locked on his like recognition. Flashbacks hit harder now. Joshua teaching him to two-step in their kitchen, radio crooning Johnny Cash, the proposal on the Brooklyn Bridge at dawn, ring from a pawn shop wrapped in string. "Forever starts now," Joshua had whispered, and Ryan had believed it, until the call at 3 a.m. shattered the illusion. One evening, as rain lashed the windows, Ryan rocked Theo in the nursery, the city a gray smear beyond the glass. The baby gurgled, fingers curling around Ryan's thumb, and for a moment, the world righted. "Your dad's out there somewhere," Ryan murmured, "chasing code or whatever. But hey, you've got me," Theo cooed, eyes sparkling, and Ryan's chest cracked open. That's when Elena appeared in the doorway, arms crossed, watching. "He's taken to you," she said softly. "Like he knows." Ryan startled, nearly dropping the bottle. "Just doing my job." She stepped closer, perfume like gardenias cutting the baby powder air. "No, Ryan. It's more. Victor and I, we worried about this. Lila's postpartum was rough. She's back in California healing. Junior's useless. But you're here." He swallowed, Theo heavy in his arms. "I don't mind." Her smile was wistful. Joshua would be proud. The name hit like a slap. Ryan's arms went rigid. "What?" Elena's eyes widened, hand to her mouth. "Oh God, Victor mentioned it once. You're Joshua. The accident. I'm so sorry." But it wasn't pity in her voice. It was something sharper, laced with secrets. Ryan handed Theo over, mumbling excuses, fleeing to his room. Door locked. He paced, pulse thundering. How did they know? And why say it now? Like a thread pulled loose? Sleep evaded him again, the rain a relentless drum. By dawn, resolve hardened. He'd ask. Tomorrow, when the house breathed easy. But deep down, the hook was set. Those eyes weren't chance. They were a map to buried truths, and Ryan was done wandering blind. Dawn broke bloody over the skyline, painting the penthouse in hues of regret. Ryan brewed coffee strong enough to strip paint, the machine's gurgle the only sound in the pre-wake hush. Elena was first up, slipping into the kitchen in silk robe and slippers, her face drawn from whatever wine-fueled confessions haunted her night. She poured a mug, avoiding his eyes, but Ryan couldn't let it fester. "Ma'am," he started, voice gravel from lack of sleep. "Last night." "Joshua," she froze, steam curling like smoke signals. "Ryan, I overstepped." "Victor, he reads the obits. You know, old habit from the business pages. Saw the name, the details. I'm sorry if." "No apologies needed." He leaned on the counter, knuckles white. "Just, how'd it feel relevant to Theo?" Elena's gaze flicked to the nursery door, then back. "It doesn't. Forget I said it." But her deflection was a damn cracking, and Ryan pressed. "Those eyes. They're his. Joshua's. Can't unsee it." The words tumbled out, raw as peeled skin. You telling me it's nothing? She set the mug down. Deliberate. Coincidences happen. Theo's got his mother's side. Lila's family. Irish through and through. Green eyes run in them. But her tone wavered, and Ryan caught the lie like blood in water. The day unfolded in tense fragments. Victor Sr. barreled in from the gym, towel around his neck, barking orders at his assistant on speaker. Push the merger. Harlan, I want signatures by noon. He nodded at Ryan, oblivious to the undercurrent, slapping ham between rye for breakfast. Elena hovered, excusing herself to check on the little one. Ryan trailed her, drawn like moth to flame. In the nursery, Theo slept angelic, mobile of crystal stars twirling lazy. Elena lifted him, cooing, but her arms trembled. He's our miracle, she whispered, more to herself. After everything, Ryan echoed, bold now, the cleaner forgotten. She sighed, settling into the glider. Junior and Lila. Troubles. Fertility issues. We pushed surrogacy, but it fell through. Then this anonymous donor. Perfect match. Theo arrived like a gift. Her eyes met his, searching. But miracles have strings, Ryan. Sometimes they tangle. He wanted to shake her, demand the knot's end. But Maria bustled in, breaking the spell. Duty called laundry, floors, the endless churn. As he folded Victor's suits, starched collars mocking his rumpled heart, memories flooded unbidden. Joshua in their old apartment, shirtless and humming Springsteen, folding Ryan's work tees with exaggerated care. Domestic bliss. Babe, he'd tease, pulling Ryan close for a kiss that tasted like home. They dreamed big then, maybe a brownstone, a dog named Scout, kids someday if the world bent right. But the world didn't bend. Joshua's shifts at the coffee shop stretched long, his freelance graphic design gigs flaking. Fights brewed over money, over Ryan's safe housekeeping job versus Joshua's starving artist fire. I need more than suds and smiles, Joshua had snapped one night, storming out. He came back at dawn, flowers wilted, apologies fervent. Can't lose you, Re. You're my anchor. Sex mended them, always slow and urgent, bodies mapping forgiveness. Joshua's eyes locked on his in the afterglow. Green fire saying what words fumbled. Love you to the marrow, he'd murmur, and Ryan believed, until the accident proved love fragile as frost. By lunch, Ryan's resolve frayed. He texted his old buddy Marco, a bartender down in the village with ears like a confessional. Meet after shift, need to unload. Marco's reply pinged fast. Always, hermano. Beers on me. The Harringtons' dinner was catered. Filet mignon for Victor's associates. Ryan plating sides in the shadows. Laughter boomed from the dining room. Deals sealed over decanters. Theo fussed upstairs, and when Maria stepped out for a call, Ryan volunteered. In the dim nursery, he changed the diaper with practiced ease, powdering chubby thighs, snapping onesie buttons. Theo's eyes found his again, that gaze a bridge to the abyss. Your trouble, kid, Ryan whispered, lifting him for a sway. Stirring ghosts I buried deep, Theo burbled, grabbing his nose, and Ryan laughed. A real one, rusty from disuse. For a heartbeat, the penthouse felt less like a cage. Elena's voice drifted from the hall. Ryan, everything all right? He turned, Theo on his shoulder. She leaned in the doorframe, cocktail in hand, expression unreadable. Join us for a drink after? Victor's in a mood to toast. It was an olive branch. Or a trap. Appreciate it. But, please. Her eyes softened. Your family here. More than you know. The word family lodged in his throat. He nodded, settling Theo back, following her down. The associates were gone by then. Victor nursing scotch. Tie loosened. Ryan. My man. He boomed, pouring amber into a tumbler. To loyalty. Rarer than hen's teeth these days. They clinked. Ryan's ginger ale against Crystal, and Victor launched into war stories. Hostile takeovers, boardroom betrayals. Trust no one, son. Even the ones you bed. He winked at Elena, who rolled her eyes fondly. Ryan sipped, the burn fake but steadying. Sounds lonely, Victor's laugh barked. Loneliness builds empires. But you steady hand. Like my old friend Josh. Knew a guy named that, back in the day. Sharp kid. Green eyes like emeralds. Shame what happened. The room spun. Ryan's glass slipped. Ice clinking protest. You. Knew Joshua. Victor's brow furrowed. Hell. Yeah. Interned at the firm. What, 5 years back? Talented bastard. Graphic whiz. Did logos that stuck. We lost touch after he left for that artsy crap. He shrugged. Oblivious. Heard about the wreck. Tough break. Elena's hand tightened on her stemware, but Victor rambled on, scotch loosening tongues. Ryan's mind reeled. Joshua at Harrington Investments? The freelance gigs he'd hidden. The late nights Ryan chalked up to passion projects. Betrayal slithered in. Cold and coiling. Excuse me, Ryan muttered, fleeing to the kitchen. Sink running hot. He scrubbed dishes like penance, suds foaming his rage. Joshua had lied. Not just omissions, whole chapters erased. For what? A taste of the high life? Or something seedier? Whispered in boardrooms. The party wound down. Victor clapping his back. Good talk, kid, before retiring. Elena lingered, drying a plate. He wasn't lying. Joshua was here, briefly. Bright spark. Victor mentored him, pushed for more. But Josh. He had dreams bigger than spreadsheets. Dreams he didn't share. Ryan bit out, voice cracking. She touched his arm, gentle. People hide pieces, Ryan. To protect. Or to chase what scares them. Her eyes held ghosts of their own, regrets etched fine as lace. Go home tonight. Clear your head. You're off tomorrow. He nodded numb, grabbing his jacket. The subway a blur of fluorescent hell. Marco waited at the dive. 2 IPAs sweating on the scarred bar. You look like death warmed over, his friend said, sliding one over. Ryan drained half in one pull. Joshua worked for the Harringtons. Before us. Didn't tell me shit. Marco whistled low. Ouch. The plot thickens. They talked till last call. Marco's steady stream of he's gone. Forgive the dead clashing with Ryan's churn. By Brooklyn dawn. He crashed hard. Dreams a montage. Joshua in a suit too big. Laughing with Victor. Green eyes in a crib. Accusing. Wake up was a hangover of hurt. Ryan called in vague family emergency and wandered the bridge, wind whipping doubts. Joshua's ring, still on his chain, glinted like judgment. Forever starts now. Liar. Back at the penthouse by noon, unannounced, he found Elena alone. Theo on her hip. Couldn't stay away? She teased, but her eyes were wary. Need answers, he said flat. About Joshua. And the baby, she sighed, shifting Theo. Not here. Park. Now. Central Park swallowed them, joggers, dog walkers, the autumn leaves a carpet of fire. On a bench by the lake, Elena rocked Theo, who gummed a teething ring, eyes on ducks paddling lazy. Joshua came to Victor for advice, she started, voice low. Not just work. Personal. He was exploring options. For family. Ryan's gut twisted. With who? With us. Elena met his stare. We helped him. Donor program. Anonymous. But Theo's eyes. We chose the profile because it matched. Strong genes. Creative stock. Didn't know it was him till after. The world narrowed to her words. A roar in his ears. Joshua. Donor? For the Harringtons? He never said, because it was private. A gift, he called it. Before you two got serious. Said it felt right, leaving something behind. Tears welled in her eyes, unashamed. Then the accident. We couldn't tell you. Grief's a thief. Didn't want to steal more. Betrayal bloomed full. Thorns ripping old wounds. Joshua had planned a legacy without him. Seeded life in this gilded world. Then died holding the secret. Ryan stood, legs unsteady. A gift? Or a ghost? Theo reached out, tiny hand on his knee, eyes pleading. Ryan knelt, tracing that familiar green, heart fracturing anew. What now? He whispered. To the baby, to the wind. Elena's hand on his shoulder was anchor. Now, you decide. But he's yours, in a way. Eyes don't lie. The walk home was fog, but clarity edged in. Rage at Joshua's silence. Pity for Elena's quiet ache. Love for the boy who'd unwittingly bridged them. Dinner that night. Victor grilled salmon with a side of gruff wisdom. Past's a shadow, son. Chase it. You'll trip. Ryan nodded, forking peas. Theo's monitor beeping soft from the kitchen. Bed brought no peace, but purpose. Tomorrow, he'd confront the fragments. Ask Maria for old files. Dig Joshua's box from storage. Uncover the man he'd loved. Flaws and all. Because Theo's eyes promised redemption, or at least reckoning. The city woke snarling, horns blaring, pigeons scattering like shrapnel. As Ryan rifled through the utility closet, dawn's gray light slanting dusty beams. Joshua's box was buried under linens and cleaners, a battered cardboard relic from their old life. He'd hauled it here after the funeral, too raw to face the contents. Now a Pandora's Ark demanding release. Inside, dog-eared sketchbooks filled with Joshua's fluid lines. Cityscapes twisted surreal. Lovers entwined in ink. A stack of letters from art school rejections, creased from furious crumples. And at the bottom, a manila envelope, sealed with yellowed tape. Ryan's fingers trembled as he slid it, spilling contracts and consent forms. Donor agreement, Harrington Family Fertility Clinic. The header screamed, dated 4 years back. He scanned the legalese, heart-pounding Morse. Joshua's signature looped bold at the bottom, witnessed by Victor A. Harrington. Notes and margins, Joshua's scrawl. For the kid who'll draw the stars. A check stub for $5,000. Payment for services rendered. Ryan's vision blurred. Not just a gift, a transaction. Joshua, broke and brilliant, selling pieces of himself to the highest bidder. The forms detailed it: clinical, sperm donation, anonymized profile emphasizing creative aptitude, robust health, selected from a pool, matched to the Harrington specs. No contact clauses, ironclad. But Joshua had known. Hell, Victor had signed off. Mentor to donor, boss to secret keeper. Rage boiled, hot as the coffee he'd abandoned. Ryan shoved it all back, sealing the box like a tomb. Work weighted, marble to buff, silver to shine, but focus splintered. Maria noticed, her eyes sharp over lunch empanadas. "You okay, Ryan?" Face like thunder. "Family stuff," he evaded, but she pressed a Tupperware of adobo into his hands. "For the soul. And talk to Elena. She's got ears for storms." By afternoon, the penthouse thrummed with Victor's return. Phone glued to ear, barking at markets tumbling in Shanghai. Ryan cornered him in the study, oak-paneled sanctum of leather and lies. "We need to talk." "About Joshua." Victor hung up, steepling fingers. Knew this was coming. "Sit." Ryan didn't. "You used him." "Knew it was him all along." Victor's jaw tightened, but his eyes, steel gray, held steady. "He came to me, Ryan. Proud, stubborn kid, scraping for rent. 'Art won't pay,' he said, 'but legacy might.' I connected dots. Clinic owed me favors. Kept it quiet, per his ask. Anonymity's the deal. And the money?" Ryan spat. $5,000 for his. For Theo. A flinch, brief as lightning. "He needed it. For you too." Said it was a nest egg. Surprise down the line. Victor leaned forward, voice dropping. "Look, I mentored Josh because he reminded me of me, hungry, overlooked. Lost my brother young. Saw that fire in him. When the accident hit, Elena and we grieved private. Decided to honor it. Selected his profile without knowing. Fate's cruel wink." Ryan laughed bitter. "Fate? Or you playing God with dead men's dreams?" Victor's face hardened. "Watch it, son. Your staff, not saint. But Theo, that's no game. He's Harrington blood. But those eyes? Joshua's spark. If you want out, doors there. But walk, and you lose this." He gestured vague. "The job, the baby, the fragile thread." The threat landed, but Ryan held ground. "I'm not walking. Not till I know all." Victor nodded slow. "Fair. Elena's got the rest. Clinic logs, whatever. But Ryan, Josh loved you. Letters prove it. Don't let ghosts rewrite that." Dismissed. Ryan retreated to the terrace. Wind off the reservoir whipping salt into his wounds. Below, Central Park sprawled autumn riot. Leaves flaming, paths winding like veins. He lit a rare smoke. Joshua's habit he'd quit for him. Inhaling deep. Why hide it? The question looped. Venomous. Evening brought Elena, Theo in a carrier, inviting him to family time. Victor was out. Another dinner, power plays, and the penthouse softened, lights dimmed to amber. They ate Thai takeout on the couch, Theo gnawing pureed peas, green eyes solemn witness. "Tell me about him," Elena prompted, passing spring rolls. "Joshua." "With you." Ryan hesitated, then spilled the latte spill that started it. Joshua's laugh like summer thunder. Road trips to the Cape. Sand in sheets and stars overhead. The night Joshua proposed. Knees in gravel. ring glinting. He was my chaos, Ryan said, voice thick. Pulled me from safe to alive. Elena's smile was sad. He was chaos here too. Sketches on napkins during meetings, arguing fonts like philosophy. Victor adored him. Pushed too hard. Maybe. Josh left abrupt. Chasing real art. We lost touch till the news. And the donation? Ryan pressed. Gentle now. She wiped Theo's chin. His idea. Came back one night, buzzed on gin fizzes, spilling dreams of fatherhood. Not ready for diapers, he joked. But why not seed the future? We laughed. Then connected him. Thought it'd end there. Then Theo, those eyes opened in the NICU, and Victor whispered, it's him. We kept silent. For you. Grief's private hell. Theo reached for Ryan's fork, giggling, and something thawed. He wanted this, Ryan murmured, letting the baby grip his finger. Without me. With you, Elena corrected. The nest egg? For a life together. He wrote it in the consent. For and whatever comes. Tears pricked. Hot traitors. Ryan scooped Theo up, burying nose in soft hair. Hey, little man. Your donor dad was a dreamer. Messy, but mine. Night deepened. Elena retiring early, leaving Ryan with the monitor's glow. He wandered to Joshua's box again, pulling a sketch. 2 figures entwined under a bridge, labeled us, forever. Beneath, in tiny script, one day, kiddo 2. Forgiveness flickered, fragile as first light. But dawn brought storm Victor Jr. Arriving unannounced, Lila in tow, suitcases thumping like judgments. The prodigal son, all startup swagger and shadowed eyes, scooped Theo with performative coups. Missed you, champ. Daddy's home. Lila hovered, gaunt and guarded, postpartum pallor clinging. We need space, she told Elena crisp over coffee. Real family time. Nanny's out. We'll manage. Ryan, polishing nearby, felt the axe hover. Elena's glance pleaded, stay invisible. But Victor Jr.'s eyes snagged on him, narrowing. You're the help, right? Heard good things. But we're good now. Dismissal stung. But Ryan nodded, retreating. Yet as Junior bounced Theo, the baby's cry escalated sharp, distressed. Easy, kid, Junior muttered, jiggling awkward. Lila tried next, formula spilling, frustration cracking her facade. From the hall, Ryan watched, gut churning. Theo's eyes sought, locking on him through the crack. A wail peaked, and Junior thrust the bundle forward. Hey, house guy, fix this. Ryan took him, instinct soothing sway, pat, hush. Theo quieted instant, nuzzling close. Junior's laugh was forced. Magic touch. Lila, see, we got this. But Lila's gaze lingered, appraising Ryan. Actually, stay on. For him. Please. The concession hung, a lifeline laced with pity. Victor Sr. clapped Junior's back later. Team effort. Son. But tension simmered. Dinner was strained. Junior dominating with VC tails. Lila picking at salad. Theo fussed through it. Ryan feeding him under the table. A secret ally. Post-meal. Junior cornered Ryan in the kitchen. Look, man, appreciate the assist. But Theo's ours. Blood and all. Blood's funny, Ryan replied even. Doesn't always stick. Junior's eyes flashed. Green echo. Faint but there. What's that mean? Means eyes like his donors. Runs deep. Silence stretched. Then Junior deflated. Yeah. Freaked me out too. First scan. Dad downplayed it. Genetics roulette. But shit's weird, right? Empathy cracked Ryan's armor. Weird's one word. Try haunting. Junior nodded, clapping his shoulder echo of Victor. Stick around. For the kid. Night fell heavy. Ryan in his room. Theo's monitor a lullaby. Sleep came fitful. Dreams of Joshua whispering nest egg. Hands cupping a swell that never was. Wake to chaos. Lila screaming from the nursery. Theo blue-lipped. Breath ragged. Allergic reaction, formula switch. They learned later. Ambulance wailed. Our lights stark. Ryan rode shotgun. Holding tiny hand. Elena sobbing in Victor's arms. Doctors swarmed. Epinephrine jabbed. Monitors beeping frantic. Hours blurred, waiting room vinyl sticking skin. Coffee vending bitter. Junior paced. Lila catatonic. Victor gripped Ryan's knee. You saw it first. Knew to call. Instinct. Ryan lied. But it was more guardian ghost in those eyes. Theo stabilized by dawn. Chubby cheeks flushing pink. Mild, the doc said. Watch the triggers. Relief crashed. Collective exhale. Back home. Exhausted. They collapsed. Junior and Lila to guest room. Elena medicating wine. Ryan bunked in the nursery rocker. Theo's bassinet sentinel. As sun crested, baby stirred, eyes opening to his. Morning. Spark. Ryan whispered, lifting him close. In that gaze, forgiveness bloomed. Not full, but root. Joshua's gift. Tangled but true. But peace fractured noon. A courier package for Victor. Innocuous till opened. Clinic file. Misdelivered. Stamped Harrington/donor match confirmation. Pages spilled. Joshua's full profile. Photo attached. And a note. Anomaly. Paternal link to family tree. Recommend genetic counseling. Victor's face ashen as he scanned. Elena gasping. Junior snatched it. Paling. What the fuck? Ryan, drawn by the hush, peered over. The anomaly. Joshua's mother, listed as deceased, matched Elena's maiden name Harrington. Distant cousin, buried branch. Impossible, Victor growled. Adoptions. Rumors. But Elena wept silent. My sister. Gave up a boy young. For the firm. The image. Josh. Nephew. The room imploded, betrayals layering like sediment. Joshua. Family. Hidden blood pulling him to Victor's door. To donation that closed the circle. Ryan's world tilted. Not stranger, but kin. The eyes? Legacy. Not coincidence. Junior reeled. So Theo's. What? Double Harrington. More. Ryan said quiet. Voice steel. Joshua's son. And yours? By blood twist. Chaos reigned. Accusations flying. Lila fleeing to call lawyers. Victor roared for privacy. Elena crumbling. Ryan stood firm. Theo in arms. Enough. He's here. That's the story. But Junior lunged, snatching the file. This changes everything. Custody. Shares. Changes nothing. Ryan snarled, stepping between. You fight this. You fight him. The slap landed. Junior's palm cracking Ryan's cheek. fire blooming. You're nothing. Help doesn't dictate. Victor's hand clamped Junior's wrist. Enough, boy. He's right. Elena nodded, tears streaming. Family's not paper. It's this. She touched Theo's head. Junior stormed out, door slamming thunder. Silence settled, broken only by Theo's coo. Ryan's cheek throbbed, but victory hummed, guardian claimed. Yet as night cloaked the penthouse, doubt crept. Joshua's secrets layered deep. Lost kin, hidden donations, a life woven into Harrington silk without a thread to Ryan. Love curdled to question, who were you? Sleep evaded, rocker creaking vigil. Tomorrow, truths would demand more DNA tests, lawyers, fractures mending slow. But in Theo's eyes, green anchor, Ryan glimpsed grace. Not end, but beginning. The penthouse hung in suspended grief, air thick as the fog rolling off the East River. Ryan woke to Theo's gurgle, the rocker imprinting his spine like a brand. Dawn filtered pale through blinds, casting stripes on the nursery walls, stripes that mocked the neat lines of his unraveling life. He lifted the baby, inhaling that milky scent, a balm against the bruise blooming purple on his cheek. Downstairs, Elena nursed coffee black as sin, Victor pacing the study like a caged wolf. No Junior, no Lila. Rumor had it they'd holed up in a Tribeca suite, lawyers on speed dial. The file lay on the coffee table, a serpent coiled, pages dog-eared from frantic reads. Morning, Elena murmured, eyes red-rimmed. How's the face? Ryan touched it gingerly. Been worse, from bar fights in Iowa, from Joshua's rare rages. Theo, sleeping angel, she managed to smile, frail. You were magnificent yesterday. Standing ground. Duty, he said, but it was more fierce. Unnamed pull to the boy who'd inherited Joshua's gaze and, now, his bloodline's curse. Victor emerged. Tyascu. Family meeting. Now, no bark, just weary command. They settled in the living room, leather creaking, Theo on Ryan's lap gnawing a rattle. Tests confirm it, Victor said, tossing lab reports. Josh, my nephew. Elena's sister's boy. Hidden adoption. Clinic glitch pulled his profile. We matched unwitting. Elena's hand trembled on her mug. He never knew. My sister. Shame closed doors. Firm couldn't abide scandal. Ryan flipped pages, genetic maps like constellations, linking stars long dim. Joshua, Harrington scion in disguise, chasing mentors who were kin. He came back for this? Legacy? Victor nodded slow. Subconscious. Maybe. Blood calls. He sought me out. In turn, gig a ploy. We bonded, art talks over scotch. Then the donation. Poetic. In retrospect. Poetic. Ryan's laugh scraped dry. Or tragic. He built walls, kept me out. For what? Pride. Protection, Elena interjected soft. He wrote me once, after leaving. Don't tell Ree yet. Need to earn it first. Earn his place, I think. In love, in family, the words pierced, a scalpel to scar. Ryan rocked Theo gentle. The baby's eyes, Joshua's, Elena's, now Harrington Green holding him steady. And now, Junior wants war. Victor's jaw set. Let him. Firm's ironclad. Adoption final. Donor anonymous. But blood's leverage. He'll push for more shares. Control. Control. Ryan echoed bitter. Like you. A beat. Then Victor's eyes softened. Rare vulnerability cracking the mogul mask. Like me. Lost too much to lose this. He glanced at Theo, voice rough. Or you, if it comes to that. The offer hung not just job, but belonging. Ryan swallowed it whole, the cleaner ascending to kin. But trust bruised deep. Joshua's omissions echoed in every creak. The day fractured into calls, Victor to attorneys, Elena to a therapist versed in dynastic dysfunction. Ryan played buffer. Theo's needs a rhythm, feed, change, soothe. Maria returned part-time, her hugs fierce. Storms pass. Ryan. Roots hold. Afternoon brought a visitor. Lila. Alone. Designer bag clutched like shield. She perched on the terrace chaise. View sprawling indifferent. Junior's spiraling, she confessed. Voice thin. The eyes. Now this, says it's karma. Paying for. Us. Ryan sat across. Theo napping inside. Us. She lit a slim cigarette, exhaling smoke signals. Before the wedding. Junior. Experimented. College fling. Guy from the firm. Thought it buried. Her laugh tinkled hollow. Then Theo. As like that guy's. Now blood ties? He's unraveling. The revelation landed soft, but seismic. Joshua's echo in more than gaze. Perhaps a spark. A night Junior buried deep. Ryan's mind reeled. Donor coincidence. Or something heated. Hidden. He say who? Lila shrugged. Some in turn. Green-eyed ghost. She stubbed the smoke. Eyes pleading. Help me. For Theo. Junior's talking annulment. Fleeing to the valley. Empathy warred with wariness. Why me? You're steady. Theo lights up for you. And those eyes. You're part of this mess. He nodded slow. The web tightening. I'll talk to him. Evening descended dramatic. Thunder rumbling distant. City lights flickering like fireflies on steroids. Junior arrived at dusk. Rain-slicked and wild-eyed. Pounding the buzzer till Victor let him up. He stormed the living room. File in fist. This is bullshit. Nephew? Donor dad? I'm fighting custody. Board seat. All of it. Lila rose. Tentative. Babe. Listen. No. He whirled on Ryan. Venom fresh. You stirring shit. Playing hero. Who the fuck are you to him? Ryan stood. Theo scooped protective. Someone who sees him. Not leverage. Junior lunged. But Victor intercepted. Grip iron. Enough, son. Blood's not battleground. The dam broke. Junior collapsing. Sobs wrenching. Lila folding him close. Elena wept quiet. Victor's arm around her. Ryan watched from the fringe. Theo's warmth a shield. As family fractured then fused in raw catharsis. Later, alone with Junior on the terrace, rain pattering glass, truth spilled. That in turn, Junior admitted. Voice slurred on bourbon. Josh. One night. Firm party. Booze. Bad decisions. Thought it erased when I went straight. Then the donation. Fate fucking with me. Ryan's throat closed. Joshua. Unfaithful? Or exploratory? Pre them? He never said. Junior's eyes, fainter green, met his. Loved you, man. Saw it in sketches he left. Everywhere. He laughed wet. I'm sorry. For the slap. The storm. Forgiven, Ryan said. Meaning it. Betrayal's edges dulled in shared ache. Reconciliation brewed slow. Group therapy booked. Lawyers negotiating peace. Victor offered Ryan a raise. Director of household, joke half-true, and Elena whispered, "Stay." For us. Nights blurred romantic haze. Flashbacks vivid. Joshua in their bed. Post-fight makeup slow burn. Lips tracing collarbone. Hands mapping hips. Whispers of mine amid gasps. "Want everything with you," he'd gasped once. Bent and sincere. Ryan clung to that now. Sifting box for clues. A journal entry. Dated pre-donation. Victor gets it, legacy without loss. Ree deserves the world. This buys time to build it. Not betrayal, but bridge. Joshua's way of paving paths. Even crooked. Climax crested midweek. Board meeting at Harrington Tower. Victor pulling Ryan in as consultant. Suits eyed him wary, but Theo's photo on his phone, eyes defiant, bolstered. Junior presented reformed. Lila at his side, announcing a family trust for Theo. Shares divvied fair. But sabotage lurked. Harlan, Victor's right-hand snake, leaked the file to rivals. Headlines screamed by noon. Harrington heir. Scandalous seeds? Stocks dipped. Paparazzi swarmed the lobby. Chaos erupted. Victor roaring in the boardroom. Junior defending fierce. Ryan, outsider thrust in, spotted Harlan's smirk. "You," he growled low, cornering the weasel. "For what? Power grab," Harlan sneered. "Old man slipping. Nepotism's rot." Ryan's fist clenched. But words won. Theo's eyes see through bullshit. "Yours?" Muddy. He pocketed Harlan's phone. Slipped careless. Evidence of bribes texted. Victor took it from there, ousting Harlan swift. Press conference followed. Elena poised. "Family strength is its heart, not headlines." Theo's photo projected, green eyes beaming, silencing doubters. Adrenaline crashed that night. Penthouse a haven. Celebration dinner. Catered Italian. Wine flowing. Junior toasted Ryan. "To the uncle we didn't know we needed." Laughter rippled. Genuine. Later, on the terrace, city aglow. Ryan and Elena shared scotch. Theo asleep between. "Joshua'd be proud," she said. "Of this circus?" Ryan chuckled. "Of you. Loving fierce." He nodded, throat tight. Romance lingered in the air. Not his, but Joshua's echo. A dance they'd never share, but felt in every step forward. Betrayal's ghost faded, replaced by grace. But one thread tugged, Lila's confession nagged. Was Theo's conception mere donation, or spark of that night? Ryan let it lie, blood enough. Sleep came deep, dreams tender. Joshua smiling, hand on a swell. Our kid. In a way. Winter crept in sly, frosting the penthouse windows with lace that blurred the world's sharp edges. Ryan woke to Theo's babble. Now 7 months of chub and charm. Army crawling toward the rocker with determination fierce as Joshua's old sketches. The nursery had evolved, walls papered in soft geometrics, a mobile of paper cranes Joshua might have drawn. Ryan scooped the boy, blowing raspberries till giggles peeled, those green eyes crinkling just so. Downstairs, the Harringtons breakfasted civilized. Victor scanning the journal, Elena portioning oatmeal. Junior and Lila arrived fresh from their walk-up rebuild, marriage counseling working wonders. Harlan's ouster had stabilized the firm, stocks rebounding on transparent leadership spin. Paparazzi faded, scandal to footnote. Morning, Uncle Ree, Junior quipped, ruffling Theo's tuft. The title stuck. Affectionate armor. Lila smiled real, passing scones. Playdate later? Bethesda fountain. Ryan nodded, settling Theo in highchair. Wouldn't miss. Family, woven awkward but tight. The day unfolded mosaic. Ryan's role blurred. Housekeeper to co-parent. Consultant to confidant. Victor pulled him into strategy sessions, valuing fresh eyes, while Elena shared recipes laced with stories of her sister, Joshua's hidden mom. She'd have loved this, she'd say. Stirring sauce. Wild heart. Like him. Afternoons freed for Theo park romps, where the boy chased leaves, eyes wide wonder. Ryan pushed the swing gentle, flashbacks soft. Joshua on a tire swing in some memory, wind-tousled, calling higher. Laughter bridged then to now, ache mellowing to warmth. One crisp noon, bundled against bite, they picnicked under the oaks, Theo gnawing crusts, pigeons strutting bold. Junior joined, slinging stories of valley fails turned triumphs. Almost lost it all, he admitted, tossing a ball Theo swatted clumsy. That night with Josh. Regrets teacher. Ryan caught the pass. Theo's glee infectious. He'd say forgive yourself. Messy humans, right? Junior's grin crooked. Yeah. Like you sticking. Saved our asses. Not savior. Ryan thought just stayed. For the eyes. The echo. The love that outlasted lies. Evening brought ritual. Bath time splash fest. Theo's tub a navy sea. Ryan soaped ducks. Bubbles foaming like champagne dreams. Lila read goodnight moon. Voice lulling. While Junior hovered. Learning knots of fatherhood. Postbed. Adults unwound, board games Victor dominated. Elena's wine-fueled philosophies. Tonight, talk turned tender. Holidays coming. Elena mused. Fire crackling. First with Theo knowing faces. Victor grunted approval. Full house. Your ma. Ryan. Iowa pull tugged. Ma's farm. Siblings chaos. Maybe. If flights align. Bring her, Junior urged. Theo needs grandparents plural. The invitation sealed belonging. Ryan's chest swelling. Later, alone in his room upgraded to guest suite. Views of spires, he unpacked Joshua's box final. Sketches framed for walls. Journal entries memorized. A letter, unfinished. If you're reading this, I'm gone. Know the donation, for us. A kid to love, even if not ours. Build the life. Love you, always. J. Tears fell free. Cathartic rain. He folded it close. Chain with ring heavy. Miss you. Chaos. Climax echoed in quiet ways now. No grand storms, but ripples. Lila confided one night. Theo asleep between. Junior told me everything. That fling. It was the donor sample they used. Clinic mix-up, but Theo's pure accident. Ryan processed slow, pieces slotting. Joshua's gift. Junior's spark, fate's improv. Beautiful accident. She squeezed his hand. You make it so. Humanistic bloom. Victor mentored Theo early. Tiny hands on ledgers. Elena volunteered at shelters. Channeling sisters lost fire. Ryan enrolled in night classes business admin. Joshua's nudge to earn more than suds. Dates flickered tentative. A barista with kind brown eyes. No green ghosts, but heart held space sacred. Christmas dawned white. Snow blanketing the city in hush. Ma arrived. Corn-fed and teary. hugging Theo like long lost. Eyes like your boys, she whispered to Ryan, meaning Joshua. Dinner sprawled, turkey carved, stories swapped, Iowa blizzards to Manhattan mergers. Junior proposed a toast. To blood unexpected, love unyielding. Glasses chimed, Theo banging spoon glee. Ryan's eyes met Elena's, then Victor's, family forged in fire. But romance lingered, bittersweet coda. New Year's Eve, penthouse aglow, Ryan slipped to the terrace. Champagne fizzing. Snow swirled, city fireworks blooming distant. He closed eyes, summoning Joshua. That laugh, those hands, the way he'd spin Ryan in impromptu waltzes. A touch Elena's shawl on shoulders. Cold out here, worth it, he said, breath fogging. She joined, hip to hip. He'd dance with you now, Ryan smiled faint. Still do. In my head, fireworks peaked, colors exploding, reds, golds, greens like eyes eternal. Theo's cry drifted faint from inside, pulling Ryan back. He went, scooping the boy, rocking to the boom. Kissing Theo's crown, Ryan whispered, your dad's loved hard. Learn that. Months melted to spring. Theo toddling wobbly, words bubbling, Anka-ree, first clear. The penthouse echoed joy, barbecues on the terrace, Elena's garden blooming rooftop. Victor retired partial, handing reins to Junior steadied. Ryan graduated classes, promoted to operations, desk with view, but hands still in suds when needed. One June dusk, park bench vigil, Theo chasing fireflies, Ryan watched with Lila. Ever think of your own? She asked soft. With who? He chuckled, but eyes distant. Someone steady. Joshua'd want it. Theo tumbled into his lap. Firefly cupped gentle. Bug! The boy crowed, releasing it to stars. Ryan nodded, heart full. Yeah. Someday. Betrayal's scar faded to story. Joshua's secrets not theft, but tapestry threads, weaving Ryan into this. Humanistic close. No perfect bows, but grace in the give. Love, dramatic and deep, echoed in green. The memorable scene replayed often. That first gaze in the nursery, hooked to home. Ryan, changed, cleaned no more, but polished, yes. By life, by loss, by eyes that found him. In the end, the house wasn't just rich, it was his. And Theo's laugh, Joshua's legacy, rang eternal.